cartoon about how Satan was secretly the good guy.
Once upon a time, there was a glowing city protected by golden gates, known as heaven. It was ruled by beings of pure light, angels that worshipped good and shielded all from evil. Lucifer was one of these angels. He was a dreamer with fantastical ideas for all of creation, but he was seen as a troublemaker by the elders of heaven, for they felt his way of thinking was dangerous to the order of their world.
What if I told you that all corporations are actually just one giant mega corporation? And I'm not talking about metaphorically, and I'm not talking about BlackRock. I'm talking about what's really behind BlackRock.
Well, isn't it weird this is coming around again? And remember what they told you last time, that it was just such a theory? And that how could you possibly believe pizza was related to this? How stupid. Pretty pricey, though.
Grace and peace to my entire highly motivated family. If this is your first time here, welcome. Get ready for a brand new episode of Highly Motivated. We like to have fun and cover a lot of different conspiracies over here. However, I am very serious when it comes to my love of our Lord Jesus and my want to bring as many people to the knowledge of the truth as possible. Make sure you're subscribed and that you have your notifications on, because I do like to premiere videos sometimes and I would love to see you guys in the chat. Without further ado, let's get into today's video.
Well, isn't it weird this is coming around again? And remember what they told you last time, that it was just such a theory? And that how could you possibly believe pizza was related to this? How stupid. Pretty
I mean, you saw the one-eye symbolism right off the bat, right?
pricey, though.
This is one of the many ways that they traffic children, right underneath everyone's nose, using everyday platforms like Etsy and eBay and Wayfair. Remember that? Yeah, that's real. Now ask yourself, who's spending $3,000 on pizza and $9,000 on chicken wings? And remember, pizza's code for little girl and chicken wings is code for little boy. Oh, and check out the symbolism. They have the kids doing the one eye, the all-seeing eye, the satanic symbolism that they brand all their shit with. Guys, it's time to get some attention on this, for real. I don't want this shit to be true any more than you do.
That's what I'm saying.
And turning a blind eye to this will put a stain on your soul.
Nobody glories in the fact that we think this is happening, right? But look right there. Low stock, only one left. $4,000. Now, please tell me if you have a better idea of what this possibly could be. I'm all ears. But from where I'm sitting, it looks like it's exactly what it is.
Y'all do know that this well-known Satanist Marina Abramovic is Lady Gaga's daddy, right? Oh, look how cute, father and
Daddy?
son. They look angry.
Father and son? Okay, you can always tell by the eyes, right? Look both of them dead in the eye. I'm seeing a little bit of the hardness around the eyes. Are you seeing what I'm seeing? Now, I know I'm not the only one who's been lost in one of these videos where they have some either woman or a little like young boy with a stick building this elaborate thing out of dirt, right? And I guess I should have always thought they were fake, but I'm a little gullible and I assumed that maybe they were just extremely skilled with their stick, but nope.
Finding out these videos were staged is so funny to me now, because why did we ever believe these? Why did we really believe that it only took 2 people to make projects like this? We really were like, yeah. And then come to find out it's an entire team of people who put all this together.
And the things that they would like mix, the dirt that they would mix to make their cement or whatever, if you actually mix those things together, it would not make a cement at all. So that part was also BS.
Or it's like 8 to 12 people. I'm so gullible. I'm like, but we saw them build it. Like, I can't fathom how these are staged. But then looking at these pictures, I'm like, why did I ever believe? I don't, like...
I just assumed they had a lot of time, right?
We really thought some of these were made with just a stick. There's gonna be people commenting, like, I never for a second believed in these videos. Looking at these pictures, I'm just thinking of that one sound that's like, no, it was real. No, don't say that. It was real. This was real for me. Finding out these videos.
You really cannot believe anything that you see on the internet. This is just another example of how the devil likes to go after the minds of children and pervert the truth from early on.
So Amazon is putting out a new cartoon about how Satan was secretly the good guy.
Once upon a time, there was a glowing city protected by golden gates, known as heaven. It was ruled by beings of pure light, angels that worshipped good and shielded all from evil. Lucifer was one of these angels. He was a dreamer with fantastical ideas for all of creation, but he was seen as a troublemaker by the elders of heaven, for they felt his way of thinking was dangerous to the order of their world. So he watched as the angels began to expand the universe in their ways. From the dust of earth, they created Adam and Lilith, equals as the first of mankind, but
Adam and who? Anyone who believes in that Lilith story, I implore you to go look at when that story originated.
Despite this, Adam demanded control, and Lilith refused to submit to his will. She fled the garden. Drawn in by her fierce independence, Lucifer found her, and the two rebellious dreamers fell deeply in love. Together, they wished to share the magic of free will with humanity, offering the fruit of knowledge to Adam's new bride, Eve, who gladly accepted. But this gift came with a curse.
Right, because free will didn't come from God. There's so many different things wrong with this already. That's insane.
Disobedience, evil finally found its way into Earth. With it, a new realm of darkness and sin, and the order heaven had worked to maintain was shattered. As punishment for their reckless act, heaven cast Lucifer and his love into the dark pit he had created, never allowing him to see the good that came from humanity, only the cruel.
So Satan's the victim now? So Amazon.
Well, if that didn't just flip everything right on its head. If you notice in current pop culture, you have a lot of, for instance, the show Lucifer. Lucifer is not painted in a negative light. He is painted as a character that you want to be sympathetic towards. You know, who's the god of this world? Satan. That means that every message that is going to come from the world is going to be a perverted message. The devil's never going to come at you as a negative, awful, evil being. He's going to come to you as an angel of light. He's going to come at you as something you want, something worldly, material possessions, a beautiful woman. He's going to appeal to your flesh's sinful nature. And while it'll be positive in the beginning, or so you think, you will pay a price in the end. Now, I really enjoy experiments like this because we can replicate phenomena that occurs on our plane that we see every day using flat earth models and experiments with, like you'll see here, a dome or cover with light reflecting, and it replicates something that we see in the sky. And so how could this be possible if we did not have a firmament? Now, I would really, if somebody in the family is not a flat earther and they have a reason that this could be that doesn't include there being a firmament, I'm interested in hearing it. But over and over again, you see a phenomenon that we see in the sky being replicated with flat earth models, but we have never once seen anything heliocentric or globe model replicated. Waiting, still waiting. Would you even believe me if I told you that they had already invented a way to create fuel for a car out of hemp? In fact, not only was the fuel made out of hemp, the entire freaking car was made out of hemp. Check this out.
The car that should have made Henry Ford more famous than the Model T. The car that didn't just run off of hemp, but was also made out of hemp. And the super lightweight plastic material was 10 times harder than steel. You can see Ford demonstrating it with a crowbar there. Of course, the parasites decided that such a economical friendly car that would literally come from the ground wasn't near as much of a profitable leech off of us as the petroleum-based products and fuel.
Amongst the thousands of products made from hemp, one of the most extraordinary is Henry Ford's plastic car. Built in 1941, it contained cellulose fibers derived from hemp, sisal, and wheat straw. The plastic was lighter than steel, yet could withstand 10 times the impact without denting.
Let's just add this to our list of reasons why these things were demonized. Because if we can create a plastic that is 10 times more durable than steel out of natural ingredients, why are we not doing it? If the environmental climate was the climate that they were really trying to change when they speak of things like climate change, then technology like this would exist. But it doesn't. So then you need to ask yourself, what are other ways that a climate can be changed? Societal climate? They tell us exactly what they want. And you just have to know how to listen to what they're saying. Now, at first glance, you probably think this has to do with the Miami Mall incident that just happened. But it's not. This is actually a news story from a year ago. Okay, first we're going to watch it, and then I'm going to tell you a few things I've learned about this since watching this.
Look at the date. 1 year ago.
1 year.
Same incident.
Started after a group of teenagers became unruly. According to investigators, some were fighting and others were setting off fireworks, which then led people to believe they were gunshots, and that just caused panic.
1 year ago.
Officers quickly responded to the scene. 3 people are now in custody.
Maybe more proof that this did indeed occur a year ago. And I found it, and I did a simple Google search, and I confirmed that, yes, this video is indeed 1 year old, and it contains the same exact information, almost the same exact information, as what occurred here just less than 3 weeks ago. The Miami Bayside Mall incident happened a year ago. This is a video that I put together. Okay, here we go. This is the CBS Miami YouTube channel where the video is currently at. That's 1 year old. It is right here. 3 arrested after Bayside Marketplace chaos. 1 year ago, 4.8K views. So let's continue on, and we're going to watch the video and listen to what the man says and watch the ticker tape at the bottom of the video. Again, you can't make this stuff up. This is really happening, and I confirm something that you're going to see in this video. If you don't see it, I'll point it out to you. This video is indeed 1 year old. This is so weird. Check this out.
Now to a developing story out of Biscayne Bay, a chaotic scene near Bayside Marketplace after dozens of police cars flooded the area.
Yeah, police say it all started after a group of teenagers became unruly. According to investigators, some were fighting and others were setting off fireworks, which then led people to believe they heard gunshots, and that just caused panic. Officers quickly responded to the scene. 3 people are now in custody.
Okay, that was the video. Again, it says 1 year ago. This is the CBS Miami YouTube channel, and it goes on to say down here in the description box, 3 people were arrested at the Bayside Marketplace after police say a scuffle and fireworks led to reports of what sounded like gunfire.
Okay, and that is the exact story that we have been told, with the exception of they've added these beings to it.
Does that sound familiar? Didn't we just hear this less than 3 weeks ago? Notice the scrolling text about the swarm of police at Bayside Marketplace. And the gentleman that was in the video, that's what he said. He said dozens of squad cars went to the Bayside Marketplace, just like we saw. We've been talking about that in videos and live streams about the huge police presence at Bayside Marketplace in Miami, like 50 or 60 squad cars. Apparently, this happened back in January of 2023. After reports of fireworks and teenagers becoming chaotic and just created a big scene. Notice the scrolling text about the new no smoking policy. Check this out. This confirms that the video is indeed from 2023 about the new no smoking policy at Miami Beach. I'll show it to you at the bottom of the video right here. See how it comes across the bottom? New smoking ban goes into effect in Miami Beach. So I'm like, okay, let's see if we can find out when that smoking ban went into effect.
Look at the date. 1 year ago. Same incident.
What are the chances that something basically identical to what just happened at the Bayside Mall in Miami happened a year ago? Like, what is the probability? It's 0. And in addition to that, Minutes of Horror did a video on this clip, and he searched through Google for other news stations like local or anything else talking about this incident from a year ago that took place in Miami, and he could find nothing. The only story that is online right now about this incident that took place a year ago is this video that we just watched. CBS Miami, their YouTube, the only place you can find anything about it. And when you search into their the CBS Miami webpage, you can't find a written story about it. And there are stories that are from 2016, so you know it searches back in the past farther than last year. So if it was either wiped, and if it was wiped, why? We have talked about BlackRock over here pretty extensively. Today, we are going to learn about the final boss, the company that is above BlackRock.
What if I told you that all corporations are actually just one giant mega corporation? And I'm not talking about metaphorically. And I'm not talking about BlackRock. I'm talking about what's really behind BlackRock. See, we hit 1 million followers on TikTok this week, and I've been waiting to post this video since the very first video that I made, laying the groundwork of understanding so that we're all going to understand this now that we're here. So let's break it down real simple. If you're going to go grocery shopping at a corporate grocery store, all these corporations are owned by these institutions. They're highlighted in red if they're on all 4 of these sheets. They're darker orange if they're on 3 of them, and light orange if they're on 2. And there's only a couple that only appear once. It's mostly the same money. But we go deeper. If you go for the biggest tech companies, it's basically the exact same list for all 4 of these. That would be Vanguard, BlackRock, State Street, Fidelity, T. Rowe Price, Geode, which is similar to Fidelity Associated, JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley. And then Northern Trust is on 3 of them, and Capital World Investors is the exact same thing as Capital Research and Management Company. So you might think, okay, these are the institutions that own the whole stock market, but who owns them? And see, if you've been around here for a minute, you already know. They all own each other. Just a giant cross ownership pool. And this is where it gets really interesting. Because see, way back before I'd even posted a single video, I was sitting in my office reading this report from an anonymous user on Reddit. And he had noticed the exact same thing that I'm talking about right now. And he wrote a program to put all that data into a visualization so we can see who owns who.
Yes.
I'm about to show you what he figured out. Let's take BlackRock, for example. This is a list of the top institutional owners of BlackRock and how much of the company they own. And if you visualize it, it looks like this, where the whole square is all of BlackRock's stock, and they get a percentage of that square based on how much they own. And the important colors to note are that white symbolizes us, retail investors, and gray symbolizes insiders that work at the company. So that would be like Larry Fink's stock, among other people. And everything else is other giant corporations, investment banks, like BlackRock themselves own a little bit. State Street owns some. Capital World Management owns some. Bank of America owns some. You see how this works? But then you think about it and you're like, well, wait a minute, because all of these institutions are owned by other institutions, right? So what if we put that data in here? Well, he did. And it looks like this. And you realize that all of this that was owned by Merrill Lynch is actually owned by all of these other institutions and a little bit of us, retail, up there at the top. But here, we've only replaced Merrill Lynch's section. What about all of these guys? Well, then it looks like this. Remember, white is retail investors like you and me, and everything else is giant mega corporations. And if you go one layer deeper, filling in all those corporations with their corporations, you see how this program's working? And so then we simplify it to just black, gray, and white. And this is who owns BlackRock. White is retail investors like you and me. Gray is insiders at all of these corporations like CEOs and other executives. And black is just corporations owning each other. We'll call it Megacorp. This is the same process.
Or how about Monopoly? Geez.
Done for Bank of America and for State Street and for Best Buy, Amazon, Macy's. Groceries, food, ingredients, building and selling homes, even less white, meaning us, retail ownership. As far as I can tell, there's only one company on the entire stock market that is not owned by Megacorp. Can you guess who it is? Do you know? It's GameStop. Except that this photo's out of date because it's from a few years ago. It probably looks more like this if you believe the public info, which is a big if. But more on that another time. This is not a video about GameStop. This is about Megacorp. Because see, when all of the owners own each other, all of their interests are aligned. BlackRock wants State Street to do well because State Street wants BlackRock to do well because they both own each other. So who is the real final boss behind all the money? Well, isn't that the $1 million question? And ever since I've been asking those more important questions, my follower growth went from this to this. So you're not going to find those answers on this channel. You're going to have to go follow me in other places. All I'll say for now is that the next time you buy a product from a corporation like Nike or Costco or Best Buy or Amazon or any of these corporations, you're buying it from the mega corporation. They're all owned by the same big money. And it's all one big siphon, just vacuuming money out of our pockets up to the people on top. We'll make another video about how exactly they do that shortly. For now, I just want to say a huge thank you to everyone that is here and here and here. Your support means the world to me, and it allows me to do this work to help support small businesses and help look for like the truth of what the heck's going on in this world. For all you guys that have been here since the beginning, you are legends. I notice you in the comments. I see you. I appreciate you, even if I don't get to as many comments and as many DMs as I used to. For all the people that have helped me.
So, do you think that this big, I guess you could call it like an umbrella corps, do you think it is a government entity? Who do you think owns it? Who do we think the final boss actually is? But when you look at it like that and you see it visualized in front of you, you can see how little we actually own and how much is siphoned from us. Now, we are going to take this with a grain of salt but this is supposedly footage from the mall in Miami. Now, I don't know. What do you think?
So someone DM'd me this video, which is an interview in Spanish, and then it shows this video. So I'm just showing you a little bit of what the guy's talking about. But everything that happened in Miami, we got to stay curious. I'm not sure about this though, but check out the interview.
30 patrullas y un helicóptero andaban siguiendo en la noche de Miami a esta criatura.
What do you guys think? I mean, obviously the quality is always bad, but like, how can you recreate that? That looks like a lizard demon alien entity.
See, and there's a second view. So at first I thought it was BS because there's just one view, right? But now we have two views. And yes, the quality is bad, but I was reading in the comments that the quality could be bad because of like a magnetic or an electrical type of interference from an interdimensional being. And you know, I could honestly believe that too. So do you think that this is a staged video, or do you think it really could be from that day? See that scorpion-like tail?
Is this a movie?
That's what I'm saying. Is this like a scene from a movie? Or is this actually his cell phone video? You can't believe anything that you see on the internet, you know?
This is the most beautiful, sacred thing that God has created, and we are just giving it up like it's nothing. We're glorifying hookup culture to have friends with benefits, that you can go do the most sacred act with somebody who literally doesn't care about you. God did create sex to be preserved in the context of marriage. That is the truth, whether people like it or not. And this is a part of Christianity that a lot of people shy away from because it's too spiritual for some people. Every time that you are intimate with somebody, your soul binds with theirs, whether you want to accept it or not. And when you're intimate with somebody, whatever they got in them is about to come onto you. God isn't withholding good things from us. He actually created sex to be one of the most beautiful parts about life. It's actually so sacred that the enemy has perverted it so hard because he wants to destroy anything that God makes as sacred as sex. Yeah. God doesn't withhold it to be mean to us. He tells us to abstain because it leads to demonic oppression. It leads to demonic soul ties. Like, we live in a spiritual world, we're spiritual beings, and this stuff is real.
God told us to be fruitful and multiply. Sex was created to be the most intimate thing between a husband and a wife so that they could create life. And now we have a culture of women that have baskets of Plan B underneath their bathroom sinks, or even the men have it under their bathroom sink because they hook up with a different chick like every day, multiple. Like, and if you think about the fact that you make a soul tie with every person that you're intimate with, and visualize that as an actual cord coming out of your body, how many cords are you going to have coming off of you? And do you think that all of that energy coming from those people is not going to have a negative effect on you? We are going to end the video with a clip from a movie from the 50s that does a really good job of illustrating the idea that our freedom that we've always been propagandized into believing that we had was always just an illusion.
It's like all forms of government.
Somebody must rule.
And I don't like the word rule.
Well, if we don't like the word rule, let's call it leadership.
Leadership in government is political power, and political power is an official form of antagonizing the people.
What magazine did you say he edits? A commentary on current events.
I can't believe this was filmed in the 50s and just how much of it is still relevant today. Makes you wonder what else we have not noticed. TikTok, this is for entertainment purposes only.
But, my dear young man, politics are necessary.
Politics are rules imposed upon the people.
In this country, rules are not imposed. They are the wish of all free citizens.
Travel around a bit, then you'll see how free they are.
Yes, but you didn't let me finish.
They have every man in a straitjacket, and without a passport, he can't move a toe.
But if you'll allow me to...
In a free world, they violate the natural rights of every citizen.
But you don't let me put it...
They have become the weapons of political despots.
Yes, but may I...
And if you don't think as they think, you're deprived of your passport.
Will you allow me
to leave a country is like breaking out of jail.
Yes,
and to enter a country is like going through the eye of a needle.
But
am I free to travel?
Of course you're free to travel.
Only with a passport.
Will you allow me to say something?
Only with a passport. Do animals need passports?
Passports are more expensive than ever. And it is not the easiest thing to just move to another country and denounce your citizenship. I believe you have to pay to denounce your citizenship because they want your tax money. And if you've ever been convicted of a felony, you can't get a passport. Well, guys, those are all the videos that I have to share with you today. Let's keep the conversation going in the comments. Put a heart down there if you made it all the way to the end so I know who you are. I love you guys, and I will be back very soon. Until next time, stay prayed up and stay highly motivated.